it was just that because of an update, a lot of my audio settings were reset, and I just remembered that sadly, sadly it wasn't fixed in this setup yet. Let's see. My mic is definitely picking up. Could you say something real quick? Yeah, it seems to be picking up at least. Anyways, welcome to You Waifu, the stupid talk show that we two do. Yeah. On the right, that's me. Hi, I'm Scamper Blaze. This is my channel. The dude on the left, that is Blackout. And I'll be honest, we're just a couple of dumbasses with stupid headcanons and even stupider arguments. I suggested that we do for lizard folks, but Blackout did give a good argument. Dinosaurs are just a little cooler than just lizards. Yeah. Is this our first stream of the year? Oh, right, yeah, I was going through some... I was very mentally drained that day. Yeah. Okay, so... While we definitely will start with the biology, there is one question I will kind of have to rip the band-aid off. Warm or cold-blooded? Where did I put that one? Where's this? Found the scale. So, what number are we looking at today? Acceptable. Acceptable. Okay. Alright. Did you know that according to relatively recent studies, it is actually shown that a lot of dinosaurs weren't purely cold-blooded, but kind of a predecessor to the warm-blooded. So, honestly, just having them be warm-blooded still would make sense. Yeah, because we always say that we can do it, but then we start to fall flat, and we kind of have to start pulling in different subjects. Alright, so... Oh, go ahead. Oh, I was just gonna ask, you asked me this before, but it is a good question for the stream. What is your favorite dinosaur, and why? Yeah, like, I would admit that the T-Rex was cool, but it was a little too big-headed for me. For those that aren't aware what the Dilophosaurus is, could you describe it? I'll be honest, Jurassic Park is one of those classic movies that I've never seen. Oh, a lot of people have to bring me movies. Like, I haven't seen Lord of the Rings. Apparently Wallace and Gromit is also a cultural thing that I have to be introduced to. I'm saying, apparently. Alright. Well, as a kid, I always kind of liked the pack tactics and the designs of specifically the dino niches. Raptors with those big hooked toes. And I'm gonna say either one of those proto feathered raptors I like, mostly because they are, if I have to believe the pictures, they are surprisingly colorful. But honestly, it is probably now one of those aquatic ones, Ichthyosaurus, if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Let me quickly look it up real quick, just to make sure. Okay, not specifically an Ichthyosaurus. But, yeah, it's the dolphin-looking motherfucker. Yeah, okay. Okay, I actually gotta look up what the exact name was of my favorite. So, since there's gonna be a lot of different dinosaurs, up to what point are we considering something a dinosaur? Like, I assume we're not just gonna count every extinct animal. I mean, all right. All right, I'm okay with that. That is completely fair. Not really. Okay, it definitely was not a plesiosaur. Like, it might be a chronosaur. Yes. I just typed in a aquatic dinosaur. At least I'm getting the shape closer to the shape. Like, Ichthyosaurus is a little too dolphinish. Anyways. Sorry, we do tend to get on tangents here, so What else is new? I mean, normally when we talk about things that have scales, we go to eggs or live birth. Uh, so let's take it from there. Eggs or live birth. I'll be honest, I am more leaning towards eggs for these. I am leaning more towards reptilian, but technically, a lot of raptors and dinosaurs are closer in both build and makeup than birds. So, saurians, as in the proto version of both reptiles, and since it's mostly an ancestor thing, it is kind of their own thingish. Yeah, I'm leaning more towards reptiles and birds than mammals. I like them. Because, yes, we are imagining dinosaurs to always been naked and scaly, but that is very wrong when it comes to like reconstructing bodies just based on the skeleton. Like, if, for example, if you take like a horse and just make the skin as tight as you would think it when just looking purely at the bones, you get a kind of a horror creature. Yeah, I've seen a couple of those. So, yeah, to kind of put a pin in it, I think the proto feathers would actually look pretty nice. So, yeah, I'm in favor of that. Okay, so which of the three categories do you vibe with the most? Terrestrial, aerial, or aquatic? I can kind of understand why, but could you elaborate why for you? Okay, I may have phrased it a little bit whimsical. Okay, so how... Man, we're not even thinking about our basic question. Like, how big do you think a dinosaur girl would be? Probably bigger than us by a bit. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Alright, acceptable. Yeah. Ah, no worries. We all have rough patches. Ah. Uh, yeah, T-Rexes are... While they are on the bigger side, they were never the biggest dinosaur. I know. It is definitely it's definitely the most well known of the dinosaurs. When you ask a kid name a T-Rex, 8 out of 10 times they're gonna say T-Rex. Did I say, is that what I said? Sorry, if you ask a kid name a dinosaur. And you failed. But I imagine that racial-wise, this is just me thinking while looking at a potential dinosaur skeleton. Smaller waist, wide as fuck hips, and yeah, I was about to say they are apex predators. They're gonna be taking lives with those thighs. But I do think that if we're talking about size-wise, they're definitely on the taller spectrum. A little bit I can imagine an hourglass figure, but on the others, that's mostly because big head, not necessarily tiny waist or tiny chest. That is pretty big. I'm just also kind of looking up how big a T-Rex can be. Yeah, 8. 8 feet sounds sounds proper. Oh, wait, actually, since we are starting with a T-Rex and a lot of terrestrial dinosaurs, we probably need to mention like posture. Like, are they gonna be more straight like humans, or are they gonna be more like T walking with like a big tail to keep balance while looking like they're Naruto running all the time? Okay. All right. So if we are if we consider ourselves to be a 180 degrees with like legs and spine, what do you think their angle would be? A 90 is like a quarter, so that is kind of what you would see in a normal T-Rex. You can also use like the face of a clock. Like, if we are 12 o'clock, a T-Rex would be like 3 o'clock. Alright. Yeah, 2 o'clock makes sense, and assuming they also have, assuming they definitely will have a tail that is the same length as their spine, at least, as a counterbalance, correct? Oh yeah, but size-wise, are we making it the same length as their upper body, longer, shorter? All right. So the safest option here would then to put the tail at 8 o'clock, or if we're making them more. Okay, so 9 o'clock and the body would be at 2 o'clock. I was gonna say 8 or 7 because of gravity. Because with the length of a T-Rex tail, I'm actually gonna disagree with you there. Specifically the T-Rex tail. Yeah, but that's also why I'm thinking their tails would probably be pointing down a little bit more compared to a T-Rex. It basically just looks like the letter T if it were to kind of waddle sideways. Yeah, for most I still think it would be at 8 o'clock. Acceptable. Acceptable, but I was also taking gravity in account. Yeah. Let's see. For those, I would mention that their tails would be, if you look at their counterpart, would probably be longer to be a better counterweight. Or probably would have denser hips to kind of shift the point of gravity from the middle point. Yeah. Okay, what do you mean here? Because a pterodactyl has a short tail, but they also tend to have like what bats have, with like a little. They kind of have some of the time. They also have one of those, like I said, with bats, kind of a patch of skin between their legs to kind of help with steering, braking, and. Concise, considering with a lot of fossils we don't really know what they look like and if they are truly intact, because I'm going to use the pterodactyl as an example, It is very likely it had like tail feathers, but those things didn't get fossilized. So, so I do think they had a tailbone, and if they didn't have like a long tail, they probably had like tail feathers or a different way to help with steering. They are definitely going to be like the progenitors of the harpies, so yeah, I'm okay with making them small. Yeah. Okay, but would it be? Now's actually the question: would Dino waifus actually be around, or would they just be an ancestor to all the other species? Because depending on world building, both can just give a cool story. Ah, yes, we're going with Dragon Ball logic. As I... Okay. I do think that the terrestrial ones, compared to the aerial ones at least, will have the densest amount of either feathers or hair. Because they're going to be on the ground the most, so they don't need to be aerodynamic. They don't need to have a specific type of fur just to be insulated. And oh, no worries. Like, we have no idea what we're talking about today anyway, so we might as well just go from branch to branch. You were saying, sorry to bring it back to the family genius. Alright, so as I was saying, I think that the terrestrial ones would have the densest coat of either feathers and or hair, also to mostly keep away the dirt, just keep them warm on the ground. I will say that color-wise, the aerial ones will be the most diverse. Okay. Ah. Alright, so when you say rarest, do I have to think about like cryptids rarity or just... Ah, okay, so like seeing an albino just in... Okay. Alright. And how big is the chance that you as a individual have ever like met an albino? Not talking about like animals, because lab animals tend to have a big chunk of albinism because that's how they bred, but... Okay, so they're definitely gonna be like a rarity. Like, if you run into one, it is something that will be talked about, correct? Yeah. Hey, did you see the dinosaur? Where? Like, don't look, but there's a T-Rex girl behind you. I said don't look! Oh, that's actually something I do want to bring up. How since I actually have not seen the Jurassic Park movies, I do know the quote. How accurate do you think that the movement-based vision actually is? It might be because we all, besides having decent depth vision, we also have like color vision. Oh, yeah, I like it as a gimmick, but I don't think the logic is really there, you know. Yeah, so if you say that to a dinosaur girl, she would be pissed off. Because I do think it would be funny if we just make them have, like, inherently, like, nearsightedness. Like, they're good at, like, seeing things in the distance, but up close... Why is my hand so blurry? Yeah. I am... One second. Google Sensei! And... Okay. In that case, far-sighted. Oh? There's also a no wait, that's the Wood Dragons, never mind. I'm just trying to think of any dinosaur that didn't really have like side-facing eyes from the top of my head. That is... I can see the logic in there. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. The wide as fuck hips. What color do you think a Tyrannosaurus actually would be in real life? Montana and South Dakota. Yeah, but Yeah, but mostly North America they've been found. So you would assume that they are ambush predators. Imagine that, a stealthy dinosaur. Nope. 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 Yeah. Plus, color blindness might be a thing. Yeah. Yeah, like, how? Yeah, like... like, I understand why it is considered to be stealthy now. That's just some black magic fuckery, if I heard any of it. But I was expecting them to be more on the brownish and even reddish side for some reason. Yeah, I'm expecting like a grizzly bear brown. Because between like the three trunks, that is still a good way to blend in. Yeah, I can kind of agree with you there. Yeah. Let's see. We have not really fumbled with the aquatic dinosaurs yet. I mean, neither of our brain cells are currently working, so we might as well synchronize. Yeah, like... Yep. Well, it is definitely the ones with those big ass fucking necks, like the... let's see. The Elasmosaurus, for example. Yeah, I do kind of find it funny that they had to eat apparently rocks to stay underwater, because if not, their own body would make them float. Since we are going with a 3 on the furry scale, I'm gonna say they would definitely have a longer neck than you and I. Probably even have more vertebrae than mammals have. Because... then you just get Candace from Phineas and Ferb. Oh, like, wait, if we're talking about like hands around your neck, like my neck is currently like one hand How many hands are we talking in length? Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, that you would literally just be another head bigger at that point. I mean, I don't hate it, but it is not something that you would find in my search history. Yeah. Okay. Technically, aquatic dinosaurs were not fish, so they did have to come up for air. So they would be coastal, definitely. Yeah, I was thinking like they wouldn't be amphibians, but amphibious is something different technically. But yes, they would be amphibious. Hmm? Yeah, but whales are actually kind of a rebound thing. Because the first mammals came on land, started to grow. They wanted to get bigger, so they just decided, fuck it, we'll go back into the ocean. And evolved back into aquatic creatures. Been there, done that. I want to go back to the sea. But honestly, the more I think about it, the more I kind of find a long neck kind of funny. Not like 5 hands long, of course, but like 3 hands. It still would almost be a head up, but at least it wouldn't be 5 hands up. Yeah, that is also fair. And the amount of muscles that they would have required just to swallow something, or the amount of assistance they would need with that. At what point do you actually stop feeling the warmth of what you consume? No, I was mostly asking, like, at what point do you... Because you don't... At a certain point in your body, you don't actually feel what is happening, because... Imagine you just being able to feel your blood going through your veins constantly, like, each cell, like, nope, 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 nope. It's also that there's also because there's different types of nerves, and those just don't register. Sometimes I'm thankful for that stupid lump of matter in my skull. Other times, I will give it the middle finger. Yes! I do think that the aquatic ones would have... Oh. No, we did not. But we did, since we kind of settled on 3 on the furry scale, I kind of thought we were just gonna go with like... Yeah. So, in that case, they would definitely be... I was gonna say fully covered in scales, tube, feathers, or proto-feathers. Fair enough. I'm trying to think of anything. I'm willing to just accept that. Most of the time, yes. I'm trying to imagine it. Well, they would... I mean... Are T-Rex arms really just that short, or do they just... Yeah... I think they would, well, if we used, like, a human ratio, I imagine they'd at least be kind of be around that ratio, since it is a bipedal dinosaur. Alright, fair enough. If anything, because of the rebalancing, I do think that the quadrupedal dinosaurs would have shorter arms, just so that their point of gravity is once again kind of moved lower. Oh wait, I remember what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that aquatics probably have the, if we're looking at the BMI, the highest fat percentage. Because those do help with being insulated underwater and even staying afloat. Wait, do you think... What about the habit of actually, like, eating rocks to weigh themselves down? Do you think that is something they would do, or are they too humanized to eat a brick? Like, they didn't chew the rock, they just swallowed the rocks. Yeah, we could definitely eat pebbles, and if they are smooth, if they are like round or smooth enough, they wouldn't cause any internal harm. Some of them are even supposed to be in there. Yeah, I do love that someone actually tested like how much iron there is in cornflakes with a fucking magnet, and they actually were magnetic, which I was like... Yeah. Yeah, like we made the T-Rex like the T-Rex weighed for like 8 feet. it depends on what purpose would our dinosaur waifus actually have underwater. Like, they're not just gonna be pure animalistic, like where they needed to stay underwater. So, according to that logic, they could just wear weighted clothes a la Goku. Yeah, fair enough. Let's see.